This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
Y'all can read the title, but I'm looking for a warehouse because, drumroll please, I'm starting my own night market. And I feel like it's finally time after living in Los Angeles for okay, let's wait for this ambulance to pass. Okay, that wasn't terrible. But after living in LA for 6 years, I think it's finally time for me to stop being the vendor and actually being the host of these night markets. And honestly, I've been wanting to do this since like my second year of living in downtown because I felt like there was a scene missing here. But I won't be doing it alone. I do have a partner. Her name is Yuka. She's a co-founder of Resident Objects. We did have a third partner, but there's been a lot of hiccups along the way, y'all. So we lost one partner. It's only us, which means our budget is now cut by like $2 grand. So I'm gonna be as transparent as possible with the numbers, but right now our budget for the entire flea market is $4K, which if you know Los Angeles prices, that is nothing, but we're gonna try out our luck. So go grab a snack, go grab a drink. I feel like this might be a long one, but let's go tour some warehouses.
We just made it outside. There's a lot of street parking here. It looks super industrial. Looks like these might all be warehouses, but we're just waiting for some access now. We have the outside area here. It's decent. It is fairly small. We're looking for something much bigger. Like I'm telling y'all, we want to go big. It's what? It's little. Walking into the space, it was a little underwhelming because it was just so small and it just looked more like a home. I was wanting an environment that screams underground warehouse, almost dirty and dingy. This was just very clean, but I liked that it had the garage door there and it has this like outside area where you can just lounge around. And he was saying that he handmade everything, so that's pretty impressive. But just that shot alone, it was on 0.5 and it still looked really small. The lighting situation was good during the day, especially because of the white walls, but they would have to use those purple lights to supplement it, and it just was not it. But the bathrooms are really clean. I've been to a whole bunch of night markets and they've had some dirty ass bathrooms, so at least that was a plus, and there were 2 of them. The owner could kind of tell that Yuka and I were looking for a much bigger space, so he was like, I've got more space if you want it. I'm just gonna have to charge you more, because he said he had up to 10,000 square feet of space. So he took us into this room here, turned on the disco ball, and I was just like, wait a damn minute, that's kind of cute. I feel like the night markets that I go to, I love that they always have a dance floor and like a designated area for the DJs, so I kind of like that. He took us into this other room that was a little bit smaller, and a lot of the decor and furniture just took up a lot of space, so it just doesn't seem functional. He then guided us outside, which was a lot more open. They had this little seating area that once again he built on his own. But I think for us, it was just a little too cluttered and it didn't feel like it really was 10,000 square feet.
If we rented out both sides, we can probably fit the 50 to 60 that we wanted.
But if we were to get all the rooms, to me, it's just giving kickback vibes. Like it's not giving, it's giving personal and intimate.
It feels like a good space to have like a part, like maybe like a wedding party or like something. Like,
but it almost looks like an apartment. It doesn't even give a warehouse. Like we want to take a venue of like an underground rave, but make it a night market. You know, that just wasn't giving it. Maybe because it has so much of his personal touch, which is awesome. Like he handmade everything in there. But I just feel like it's not really our vibe, you know?
10,000 square feet, there's no way.
There's no way.
Unless all those walls dividing everything really makes the space look so small.
But y'all, we have 2 more warehouses to tour. They're gonna be in Fashion District. And these are gonna be much, much larger in scale. So those are our thoughts for now. We'll be back with warehouse number 2. What kind of dog is he?
He's a German Shepherd.
He's a German Shepherd. Oh, no wonder.
What?
The wolf mix. It's
like
what makes him
actual
huge.
Wolf? Really? I didn't know that they were mixed with wolves.
Oh, baby. This is Yuka's Connect, and it was kind of a win-win situation because they were offering a lower deposit as long as they were able to be the bartender for the night, which worked out in our favor because we needed an alcohol vendor to begin with. And I did like the space, only there was a lot of like larger obstacles in here. For example, the huge ass swimming pool that's right in the center of the space. But I really like that they have this step that serves as a designated area for entertainers and artists. But this one is different because it had an inside area and an outside area, which we would use for food vendors or just like other smaller jewelry vendors. And the owner of this warehouse is a big animal lover, so she had everything from dogs, cats, turkeys, and chickens. that was my first time ever petting, let alone touching the chicken. I literally thought I was gonna lose a hand, but we really like the space, so it's a potential contender.
I'm really curious to see what it looks like once she removes like all the animals and stuff, but I like the open plan. It is a little small.
I thought so too.
It is a little small, but
I thought the pool took up a lot of space.
Yeah,
the pool's awesome. Like, who gets to say they have a freaking swimming pool in their warehouse? That's wild. The only thing is we don't know about price yet. So we're trying to work out a deal where they can sell alcohol, make revenue the day of, which means a smaller deposit and total cost on our end. Because y'all, warehouses are so expensive. Like, we're looking at probably spending anywhere between like $3 to $4 grand.
And the fact that she can provide the porta potties, she'll provide the security, she provides the drinks. Like, we need a venue that can provide a bar.
Yes,
and
exactly.
They keep the revenue.
Because to be honest, y'all, we don't really know how to handle licenses, permits, insurances for vendors, specifically with like alcohol. And we literally only have 1 month to pull this off. We're at our 3rd location. Let's check it out.
This one is the one that I'm most excited about because it's massive and it's such a good deal. It's actually a lot lower than our budget, so I kind of feel like it might be a little too good to be true. But let's just take a look. Look at this wall, Yuka. What the heck? And the chandelier for character.
And stuff like that.
What? Oh my goodness. There's this little nook here, so they were saying the truck would be moved. This would be a cute little spot for the tattoo artist. I feel like it's more than enough space. I'm obsessed, y'all. This is so good. A lot of open space, so we can actually create our own pathways for people to shop. They have a green screen area and do something different than we've seen at other night markets. I'm thinking maybe even like a fashion show, getting small indie designers, and at a certain hour they can have models walking their pieces. I think that would be so much fun. We thought this room in the corner was going to be a bathroom, but it's actually an electrical room, so we would have to cover that on our end, and we're thinking maybe 4 porta potties. But the potential with this space and the amount of vendors we can fit in here, it's so inspiring. But the warehouse owner is very strict. She wanted certificate of insurances for general liability, liquor liability, assault and battery, events, concerts, workers' compensation, a long list of insurances.
Y'all, I'm not gonna even hide it. I love this warehouse. Like, Yuka, I'm obsessed.
It's huge.
Like, if we're gonna throw a flea market, I want it to be in this building. It's massive. It's 26,000 square feet. On Peerspace, we were quoted $23.40 something, so it's so cheap. Like, it's so doable for us. And like other places we've been looking at, they've been quoting us at like around $35-4 grand. So we're kind of thinking it might be a little too good to be true. But I'm gonna reach out to the owner and make sure that that's the rate that they want.
Y'all know the drill at this point. It's time to thank today's video sponsor who's making this night market a reality. It's Squarespace. They're an all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs. So if you want to start your own professional website to sell physical items, digital items, a service, and even videos, they can help you out with that. I have my own website with Squarespace. It's twinl.com, and this is pretty much where I sell everything from my mystery bundles, my printed clothing, and my Y2K dead stock. So you're looking at my newest drop, which I'm trying to keep it like springy, very summery, mixed with some anime. So we've got some tube tops where I have like these outline of manga and anime characters printed on them, and I've already sold a handful of them, so this is just kind of what's left. And anytime you make a purchase off my website, you're directly funding the night market. So let's talk product features and what you have access to. So the first one would be Squarespace Blueprint. They offer professionally curated layouts and styling options so you can tailor as you want to your brand. Second feature is flexible payments, and this just increases the checkout options for your customers. So now they can pay with their credit card, their PayPal, Apple Pay, and in some eligible countries, there's buy now, pay later with Afterpay and ClearPay. Last feature I want to touch on is personally one of my favorites, and I just feel like it levels up your website, but it's video collections. So you can upload videos to either showcase or sell access to, and I personally use this on my homepage. I have my most recent YouTube video uploaded, so that way you can catch up with my content on either my YouTube channel or my website. So there's a free trial waiting for you at squarespace.com, but when you're ready to launch, you can visit squarespace.com/Twinl to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain using my code TWINL. But a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to these warehouse tours.
We are at warehouse number 4.
I think that might be him in the Jeep. No? I just saw
is
someone's
he
lights
waiting
on.
for us
I
right now?
think so.
Okay.
We're in like Boyle Heights area. We kind of passed downtown LA, but we're still in like an area that's full of warehouses. We're thinking it might be this building. It's massive.
This place was massive, and it's scary during the day, so I can only imagine how scary it is at night. And it wouldn't surprise me if they film scary movies in here, but y'all, this space, it gets even better.
The owner is checking to see if all these boxes and like packaging items will be cleared out by our date, which is July 20th. He says it's going to be cutting it close, but if we can get it cleared out, that gives us much more space.
We've got a flight of stairs up here, which again isn't accessible, and there's no elevator to take us to the second floor, but the view from up here was absolutely awesome. I could already envision it with vendors. I would like the DJ up top with possibly a dance floor at the bottom, but the space was so unexpected because it was a lot bigger than it looks. It's also very dirty up here. Dirty, broken, dingy, but in the best way possible. It was almost giving like a trap house. I hate to say it, but I just don't think this upstairs would work as a lounge area because there's way too many walls, and I just don't trust people. When I do markets, shoppers already don't respect my clothes, so I can't imagine what they would do to a space that does not belong to them. I feel like if I really wanted this to work, we would have to hire security so that they can control the entire event, do their walkarounds, just to make sure that people aren't abusing the space. The owner also took us outside, and y'all, I shouldn't have been surprised. If the building was going to be huge, of course the outside area was going to be huge. With the amount of space he had outside, we might as well could have held our own food festival.
These have been so much fun. Oh wait, let me move Hello Kitty real quick. Okay, you guys, let's talk honest thoughts. What do you think?
I love this one, but I already know it's out of our budget. When he said $500 an hour, I was like, ooh, that would be like $5,000. But if you think about it though, the amount of vendors that could fit, that's the thing. If we get a bigger spot where more vendors can fit, we could technically up the budget a little bit.
Okay, but also you guys, that's not including the security that he wants to use.
Yeah.
He didn't give us a number for securities. He said he would get back to us with a number.
Mm-hmm.
But like, how many security guys does he want? This is a huge ass place.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he's thinking like one guy here, one guy there, 2 max.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly for the girlies, but we do want to be safe. Just in case some weirdo.
I'm okay if we don't have security.
No, we do.
Okay.
No, she's joking. We are going to have
I'm
security.
joking.
We are going to have. We have to.
Yeah, we'll have
We have
security,
to,
y'all.
yeah.
Don't worry, it'll be a safe event. Like when I
don't
think
know.
underground like raves, I would imagine they would be
Exactly.
in there for sure.
Like I want it to feel kind of a little more underground and a little grittier.
Yeah.
Like I love the like bookshelf thing, but that almost gives it like steampunk vibe or like.
I like
do you know
steampunk.
what I mean?
Steampunk. Is it too nerdy? It's a little outside of our budget, but I feel like we could definitely make our money back.
Yeah,
day
considering
of the
how
event.
many more people we can have set up here.
So you guys, that just means come shop on my Squarespace. We need all the support we can get. Y'all, it's 3:30. We have our entire schedule here. It's time for another warehouse. I think this is our 5th one now.
Caesars, yeah.
And this is a warehouse that belongs to her friend. So we're getting a lot of little perks. It's gonna be hopefully way under our budget, but let's go check it out.
One thing about these warehouses is that they're booked and busy. Seems like every time we walk into a new space, there's just things everywhere. So this is Yuka's friend. He was prepping. I think this is a new space for him. So I think he was just prepping it in general. And it was a little hard to visualize what it would look like without all the clutter there. But same with this one. There's an inside space and outside area, which we would probably use for food trucks. And he said that those gates actually open, so we can use it as an exit or an entrance if we wanted to. But if I'm gonna be totally honest, my initial thought is, ooh, it's a little too small for what I was envisioning, because you'd have to try and imagine vendors, a dance floor, a DJ, food, walkability. I just don't see it in this space, but it might be a good contender to just have in the back burner in case we need like a plan B.
Back with honest thoughts. I think it's a little small, Yuka.
After we saw the library part, if we didn't see that one, I feel like this would be the first contender because of all the extra stuff that comes along with it.
Caesar was able to cut a deal with us. He said $1,500 down, and then he'd also be the bartender the day of. So whatever money he makes, if he's at least reaches a profit of $3K, he's good to go. But if he falls under $3K, we would have to supplement that. That's an awesome
15.
deal.
Yeah, that's 15.
It's just like, how many vendors could we fit in there? Like, our booths are gonna be in there. Like, do tattoo artists also fit in there along with some food and clothing vendors? I feel like it might be a little too congested, along with the DJ or a little dance floor. We've got a little break now. We've got like an hour break. So we're gonna go grab something to eat because I'm personally getting kind of hungry and I'm super thirsty. And then we'll go to warehouse number, what is this, 6? Warehouse number 6. Yuka says this is a bad sign. Broken glass. They probably break into cars. Even you're stepping all over it too, Yuka. Look.
Do y'all ever meet someone for the first time and just pick up a weird energy or vibe off of someone? Well, I felt it with this warehouse owner. And I don't know what it was because she was very smart. She was very knowledgeable about the location, but something just wasn't sitting right with me. And also, all of these warehouse owners know exactly what we're hosting. They know our budget. And she kept saying that they use this space for influencer events with big brands like Nike. And I was just like thinking, we're not Nike. We're not hosting anything like that. Like, we're doing something for our community. And then she dropped the budget on us, which I'm just gonna ruin now, but she quoted us 10 grand, y'all. $10,000 for a space that isn't even 7,000 square feet. And I get it though, it's very new, it's been remodeled, they have nice ass bathrooms in here, and the space is just open and clean. But honestly, I just don't think it's worth it. I almost got snobby vibes, like, oh, we're a great venue and we're very high and mighty, but for the less unfortunate like you, we'll slash the price in half and offer you $5,000. And I was like, oh, okay. In my mind, I was like, you know what? I think we're gonna pass.
I just wasn't sure if you were being nice or if you actually liked it.
I did like the space. It was very clean though. It was very clean looking.
But
I don't know if it's like not. I don't know if it's really what we were looking for.
I think it's too cookie cutter. And also they were trying to quote us 10 grand. 10 grand. That's crazy. But they said they would try to work with us, cut it in half, meet us at 5K.
Which kind of tells me that 10 is bullshit.
Yeah.
You don't just cut the price in half like that.
That's
you know
huge
what I mean?
difference.
I don't know. That's like, well, out of the kindness of your heart, you're gonna give us 50% off. Like, that seems kind of like, no, I don't know.
She seemed really nice though, but almost in a very ingenuine way. You know what I mean? So I think we're gonna, I personally think we should cross this one off our list.
Cross the first one and this one.
Yes.
For very different reasons, but also, yeah.
We're here. Hello.
As an art lover, I was so excited to check out this place because it was a tiny little art gallery. Okay, it's not tiny. It's 7,000 square feet. The only difference is we're going to see a lot of walls here because obviously you need walls to hang up art. And I was thinking, okay, this might work in our favor in case we want like an area for the tattoo artist, another little room for accessories, and then a huge room for the clothing vendors. But as soon as we walked in, I was like, oh, maybe this isn't what we wanted. This really helped us solidify our choice that we wanted an open floor plan because it was just kind of eating up a lot of the square footage. This space would be better for a more intimate event, so maybe a market with a lot less vendors, but that's not what we were wanting. We're wanting something big and huge. But with that said, it was within our budget, it was a decent size, and the owner was so freaking nice. So if any of you guys need a venue for an event, I would recommend this place.
It was nice. I think it's really cozy. It's clean. He says it's affordable. It's within our budget. It's $250 an hour. We're looking at 10 hours, $2,500 for a really nice clean area. We've got street parking.
The vibe in his spot is kind of similar to the last one we went to, but he was just so much more personable
and humble.
Yeah, exactly. It makes me want, like, that's the thing. I feel like the way you present also matters as much as like the space. I hate to say that, but it kind of does. Like, I would sooner rent from him than the one right before him.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though their spaces were kind of similar a little bit, like kind of white, clean, not as industrial.
And I know we weren't looking at places with walls, but
I still see it working.
It looks a little small, but I think big enough. Like, I think you could fit 50 vendors in there, I think. At least with the outside area and the inside area.
Yeah.
I definitely think you can.
Okay, so maybe it's on the maybe list.
I had really big hopes for this space just because it's in the fashion district and literally right across the street is Santee Alley. One red flag already is that we had to go up a flight of stairs. So not only is that inaccessible for our shoppers, but imagine our vendors having to lug in all their stuff to set up and to also break down. But off the bat, I did really like all of the personality, and the owner wanted to show me what it looked like with the lights off. And I'm not gonna lie, it's so freaking cool, but he lied on his listing. He said that we would have like a whole bunch of space and it was going to be 8,000 square feet, but we only had 5,000 square feet and we don't have access to any of these rooms here. So it would just be all of this open space. But I like the colors. I like the graffiti on the walls. The first set of stairs that I showed you was actually the back entrance and they use that as their everyday door. But this is actually the true front entrance of the building and it's also stairs. So they do have a freight elevator, but they don't use it. So that would mean that there's absolutely no usable elevator for the day of the event. But on the plus side, the owner was very lenient. Like he said, for the hours that you book this space, you can do whatever you want. He even went as far as saying that I can do X-rated things in the space during the time that I'm renting it. But they also only have one bathroom, so he said I would need to get porta potties to put outside. And even the bathroom that's in the warehouse now was broken. Literally, as I was walking into the building, he was like, hey, I just want to apologize, but the previous person who rented out this space blew up the toilet, so it might smell like poop or pee. If you made it this far, drop a bunny emoji in the comment section. It'll make sense real soon. But Yuka and I took this as a sign because on the outside we have this star girl. Y'all, I literally have a star girl tattoo on me. Yuka owns 3 kitten babies, so we were just like, maybe this is our warehouse. The minute we stepped in, we saw the red brick and I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. I was a little deceived though, because I thought it was just this room and I was like, ooh, this is kind of small. But there's this metal door here that actually opens up and the tour guide took us through another door that led us to a huge room that's an extension of it. So I was like, yes, this can totally work. And it gets rid of one of our expenses because there's 2 bathrooms on this lower floor. There's 2 bathrooms on the top floor, which means we don't have to pay for porta potties. One of our only concerns is that we couldn't figure out how to turn on the lights. Like obviously on the ceiling there's a lot of light fixtures, but we couldn't find the actual switch. The sun does a good job of filling it with light during the day, but since we're a night market, we would depend on light sources. So even though we won't have a porta potty expense, we might just have a lighting expense. Really sucks, but this is another place with stairs, absolutely no elevator, so this is the only way to get up to the 2nd floor. Oh y'all, I really like this venue, but it was already at the tippy top of our, actually it was over our budget. So any other expense we just couldn't cover.
9 warehouses later and we finally narrowed down our choice. I'm just waiting for the contract to hit my email, but once I sign it, once I send over the deposit, I'll see y'all next time for a warehouse tour. But for now, just leave all your guesses down below in the comments. Oh, and the next video, we are gonna have a little giveaway that you don't wanna miss out on. So as always, y'all, I do post videos at least once a week. I'll see y'all next one. Bye!